Welcome to Pastor Andrew's Inspirations. If you enjoy these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below and the bell for more. Welcome to our online church, a congregation made up of many from around the world. No offering is necessary. Subscribing and watching videos will keep us alive under God's watchful eyes. Today we will be talking about biblical names starting with H, Part 2. This part will consist of 3 sections, sections A through C. Hope you enjoy these shorts. Hadad. Adad or Ishkur's consort, both in early Sumerian and the much later Assyrian text, was Shala, a goddess of grain, who was also at times linked with the god Dagānu. She was also called Gubarra in the earliest text. The fire god Gibil is at times the son of Iškur and Shala. He is known with the Anatolian storm god Teshub, whom the Mitannians labeled with the same Sumerogram, dim. Sometimes Adad and/or Iškur is labeled with the god Amurru, the god of the Amorites. The Babylonian center of Adad and/or Ishkur's cult was Karkara in the south, his chief temple being É.Kar.kar.a. His spouse's Shala was worshipped in a temple named É.Dur.ku. In Assyria, Adad grew along with his warrior aspect. During the Middle Assyrian Empire, from the reign of Tiglath-Pileser I, Adad had a double sanctuary in Assur, which he shared with Anu. Anu is often associated with Adad in invocations. The name Adad and various alternative forms and bynames, Dadu, Bur, Dada, are often found in the names of the Assyrian kings. Adad and/or Iškur presents 2 aspects in the hymns, incantations, and votive inscriptions. On the one hand, he is the god who, through bringing on the rain in due season, causes the land to become fertile. And on the other hand, the storms that he sends out bring havoc and destruction. He is pictured on monuments and cylinder seals, sometimes with a horned helmet, with the lightning and the thunderbolt, sometimes in the form of a spear, and in the hymns the somber aspects of the god on the whole prevail. His connection with the sun god, Shamash, due to the natural combination of the 2 deities, who alternate in the control of nature, leads to imbuing him with some of the traits belonging to a solar deity. Accounts of Adad starting in the Kassite period and in the region of Mari highlight his destruction's stormy character and his role as a fearsome warrior deity, in contrast to Ishkur's more peaceful and pastoral character. Shamash and Adad became the gods of oracles and of prophecy in general. Whether the will of the gods is determined through the inspection of the liver of the sacrificial animal, through seeing the action of oil bubbles in a basin of water, or through the watching of the movements of the heavenly bodies. It is Shamash and Adad who, in the ritual connected with prophecy, are habitually invoked. Likewise, in the annals and votive inscriptions of the kings, when oracles are referred to, Shamash and Adad are always named as the gods spoken, and their ordinary designation in such instances is Belbiri, or lords of divination. In religious texts, Baal and Hadad is the lord of the sky who governs the rain, and thus the sprouting of plants with the power to determine fertility. He is the protector of life and growth to the agricultural people of the region. The absence of Baal causes dry spells, starvation, death, and chaos. In texts from Ugarit, El, the supreme god at the pantheon, resides on Mount Lay, maybe meaning night, and it is there that the assembly of the gods meet. The Baal cycle is patchy and leaves much unsolved that would have been obvious to a present-day person. In the earliest extant sections, there appears to be some sort of feud between El and Baal. El makes one of his sons, who is called both Prince Yam, the sea, and Judge Nahar, the river king, over the gods, and changes Yam's name, meaning darling of El. El informs Yam that in order to secure his power, Yam will have to drive Baal from his throne. In this battle, Baal is debilitated, but the celestial craftsman Kothar Wa Kassis strikes Yam with 2 magic clubs. Yam collapses, and Baal finishes the fight. Astarte proclaims Baal's victory and salutes Baal and/or Hadad as rider on the clouds, a phrase applied by the editors of modern English Bibles to Yahweh in Psalm 68. At Astarte's urging, Baal scatters Yam and proclaims that Yam is dead and heat is assured. A later passage refers to Baal's victory over Lotan, the many-headed sea dragon. Due to gaps in the text, it is not known whether Lotan is another name for Yam, or a reference to another similar story. In the Mediterranean area, crops were often threatened by wind, storms, and floods from the sea, indicating why the ancients feared the fury of this cosmic being. A palace is built for Baal and/or Hadad with cedars from Mount Lebanon and Syrian, and also from silver and from gold. In his new palace, Baal hosts a great feast for the other gods. When urged by Kothar Wa Kassis, Baal somewhat reluctantly opens a window in his palace and sends forth thunder and lightning. He then invites the god of drought and underworld, another son of El, to the feast. Mot, the god of drought and underworld, is insulted. The eater of human flesh and blood will not be satisfied with bread and wine. Mot threatens to break Baal into pieces and swallow Baal. Even Baal cannot stand against death. Gaps here make explanation uncertain. It seems that by the advice of the goddess Shap's son, Baal has intercourse with a heifer and dresses the resultant calf in his own clothes as a gift to Mot, and then himself prepares to go down to the underworld in the guise of a helpless shade. News of Baal's apparent death leads even El to mourn. Anat, Baal's sister, finds Baal's corpse, presumably really the dead body of the calf, and she buries the body with a funeral feast. The god Astur is appointed to take Baal's place, but he is a poor substitute. Meanwhile, Anat finds Mot, cleaves him with a sword, burns him with fire, and throws his remains on the field for the birds to eat. But the earth is still cracked with drought until Shaps fetches Baal back. This was the biblical name starting with H, Part 2, Section A. Please stay tuned for Section B, continuing with Hadad's story. If you like these videos, please click on the red subscribe button below and the bell for more. Adonai Nisi, the Lord is our banner. God's blessings be upon us all.